Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about why I don't think that we have free will as believers. And I'm going to talk about how I felt when I was a believer. Obviously, I don't believe in God anymore, so I don't believe that we have free will, period. I think that we have choices once we're here in this life, but I don't think that we truly have free will. And this is why. When I was a believer, when I was a Christian, I always struggled with this idea of the free will. And throughout the years, this is what I came up with. I said, well, if I supposedly have free will, nobody asked me if I wanted to come into this life. So how can somebody say that God has given me free will if He didn't ask me if I wanted to be born in this planet at this time? I don't recall being asked. Therefore, how is that free will? How is that my free will? And if, you say, well, it was your parents' free will. Yes, but if their free will is infringing on my free will, then that's not my free will, that's theirs. So right there from the beginning, I had a problem with that. Then, throughout your life, you live according to somebody else's rules and regulations. They tell you what to think, what to say, how to dress, what to eat, where to go, what not to do, etc. And you have to follow all these rules and regulations because you obviously cannot think for yourself because they don't teach you how to think, they teach you what to think in church. So because they don't trust you to make the right choices and right decisions, they tell you what to do. And you just follow those things. So how is that free will if I can't do whatever it is that I want? If I can't even think for myself, or if I think for myself, it is just like, it's an illusion because you just have the idea that you're thinking for yourself, but you have to think within the box that they provide for you. You cannot think outside of that box. Okay, and then let's say that you are 100 years old and you say, you know what? I'm really, really sick. I'm really tired. I don't really want to be here anymore. I wish that somebody would just give me a pill or an injection or something so that I would just pass on because I no longer want to live. You are not allowed to do that because if God gave you life, He's the only one that can take that away. It doesn't matter if you've been suffering for 20 years with a chronic disease. It doesn't matter that you're in so much pain you don't know what to do with yourself. You're going insane because you cannot handle all the suffering. That doesn't matter because God decides when you leave the planet. So how is that free will, I ask? Or perhaps you are a 23-year-old that is just starting life and is so full of ambition and creativity and talent, and boom, you die. Did God ask you if it was okay for you to just leave this planet? No, He didn't come and ask if it was okay for you to leave now or if you wanted to wait a few decades more. So how is that considered free will? And let's say a person is born with like handicap or a disease or something horrible that they have to live their whole life. Like, how is that free will? I don't think that that's what they would want. If they could choose different, they would. But somehow life or God does not provide that, does not allow for that to happen. So how is that considered free will? So obviously now as an atheist, it makes sense now that it was like, okay, my parents got together. They, had sex. I came out of that union. Here I am. Nobody asked me. Nobody, I'm just going to make the best out of this experience. And I would like to know that whenever I felt that I didn't want to be here anymore, I could leave. And that nobody's going to be gasping because I don't want to be here anymore. Because if God didn't give me this, existence, if He's not the one that gave me life, if it was something that came naturally from my parents, then I don't see the problem for me saying I don't want to experience this anymore. Because to begin with, I wasn't asked if I was okay with it to begin with. So I always had a problem with that, of saying, why is it not okay for somebody to decide when they want to leave? And it always came back to, God gave you the gift of life. He's the only one that can take it away. And if you go against his will, you're going to burn in hell. To me, that is not free will. The only way that I would consider somebody having, or me having, free will would be if I decided to have this experience called life, and let's say the spirit realm exists, and I existed in the spirit realm, and I said, okay, you know what, that sounds like fun. I want to experience the third dimension or something. I would be going to my own little planet, and I would have everything that I could imagine and dream of, and everything that I just found fascinating and beautiful, and I would experience all these things, and I could do whatever I want, whenever I wanted, as much as I wanted, and experience the fullness of it, and then say, okay, I'm done. I can leave now. I don't want to experience this anymore. I'm going to go back to where I was, and that's the end of it, because I would not be having to worry that my actions were going to affect somebody else, especially in a negative way. So to me, it's not free will when you can't do whatever it is that you would want to do because that is going to affect other people. And in no way am I saying that I am against the rules and laws. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I cannot call that free will when you have to limit yourself because you're going to affect other people. So I think that is it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.